Seamstress charged for obtaining money by false pretend. Guyana Scott, a 26-year-old seamstress from Lot 88 David Rose Street, Bagotville, West Bank Demerara, was arrested on February 4, 2025, and charged with obtaining money by false pretense under Section 194 of the Criminal Law, Offences, Act, Chapter 801. The charge was formally presented to her at the Wales Magistrates Court before Her Worship Rondell Weaver. Scott pleaded not guilty and was granted bail in the amount of $80,000. The case stems from an investigation into an alleged computer-related fraud involving Marvin Peters, which occurred on February 2, 2025, at Potentia, West Bank Demerara. The matter has been adjourned until March 5, 2025, for the filing of statements and further proceedings. Pensioner rescued from burning home. A 91-year-old man, Herbert Gaskin, was rescued from his Durban Street, Worth Manville residence in Georgetown after a fire broke out early Wednesday morning. The quick actions of nearby citizens helped save Gaskin's life as they rushed him out of the blazing house. Emergency medical technicians, EMTs, transported him to the Georgetown Public Hospital for evaluation. The Guyana Fire Service responded promptly, managing to extinguish the fire before it spread further. Nadia Gravazanda, a neighbor, reported that while her kitchen and water tanks were destroyed, the rest of her home remained unharmed, thanks to the assistance from local residents. Authorities are currently investigating the cause of the fire. Teenager charged with murder of city councilor. A 16-year-old teenager has been remanded to the Juvenile Holding Center after being charged with the murder of City Councilor Kyle Anthony Solomon. The teenager's mother turned him in to the police following the incident. The young suspect was not required to plead to the capital offense during his appearance at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Kyle Anthony Solomon, a 47-year-old businessman, was fatally stabbed multiple times in the abdomen, chest, rib, and left hand around 4 a.m. on February 5 at Durban Backlands, Georgetown. According to a police report, Solomon had exited his house and noticed the suspect attempting to gain entry into his shop. Solomon raised an alarm, prompting the teenager to flee. However, Solomon chased after him and caught up, leading to a heated argument. During this confrontation, the teenager allegedly pulled out a knife from his waistband and inflicted the stab wounds. Solomon fell to the ground motionless and was pronounced dead shortly thereafter. An autopsy confirmed that his death was due to the stab injuries. Logger sentenced to life in prison for murder. Guyana Times. Marlon LaRose, a 29-year-old logger from Maria Henrietta, Upper Burbus River, has been sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Kevin Hercules from Waruni Village. The sentence was delivered by Justice Sandal Kisoon following a lengthy trial that lasted nearly 4 years. LaRose was arrested on September 17, 2021, after confessing to the murder during an altercation. Throughout the trial, he exhibited no remorse for his actions, which significantly influenced the judge's decision. LaRose will be eligible for parole only after serving 30 years. The murder took place between September 12 and 13, 2021, after Hercules had been drinking with friends and requested a ride home. Witnesses reported seeing him enter a boat with others, but he never arrived at his destination. His family reported him missing, and on September 14, 2021, his body was found floating in the Burbus River. Authorities noted signs of extreme violence, including a mutilated face and a slit throat. The trial began on December 9, 2024, with a jury empaneled on December 4. The prosecution, represented by attorneys A. Ramatar and D. Fraser, presented compelling evidence, while the defense, led by attorney R. Bostwick, argued LaRose's case. After closing arguments on December 11, the jury found LaRose guilty of the lesser charge of manslaughter. During sentencing, Justice Kisoon condemned LaRose's lack of remorse and the brutality of the crime, emphasizing the pain inflicted on the victim's family as justification for the life sentence. AG questions opposition's lack of GCOM objections despite calls for biometrics. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandlal, SC, has criticized the opposition for their lack of objections during the recent claims and objections cycle conducted by the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM. Despite over 4,000 transactions being processed, no claims or objections were filed by the opposition, raising questions about their allegations regarding the voting process. During his weekly program, Issues in the News, Nandlall highlighted that the absence of any objections from the opposition suggests that they are satisfied with the electoral system. He noted that, although the opposition has repeatedly called for biometric voter identification due to concerns about fraudulent voting, they have not substantiated these claims with evidence. If the system is so flawed, you can't find one, he challenged, emphasizing that the opposition's failure to produce even a single objection undermines their claims of widespread fraud. Nandlall accused the opposition of using the push for biometric identification as a distraction in anticipation of losing the upcoming 2025 general and regional elections. He also referenced a ruling from GECOM's chairperson, retired Justice Claudette Singh, which stated that making a biometric system the sole means of voter identification would be unconstitutional, further complicating the opposition's position. The Attorney General's remarks suggest a growing tension between the government and opposition regarding electoral integrity and the upcoming elections. Scotiabank opens new ATM at Movietown Mall. Scotiabank has expanded its ATM network in Guyana with the opening of a new ATM at the Movietown Mall, located near Massey Stores in East Coast Demerara. This new ATM features enhanced operational capabilities, including a user-friendly touchscreen interface. Nafisa Gaffer, country manager of Scotiabank Guyana, emphasized the bank's commitment to investing in its operations and improving access to banking services for customers. Features of the new ATM include cash withdrawal for local and foreign-issued cards, credit card cash advance for local and foreign-issued cards, bill payment, mobile top-up, transfers between accounts, credit card/loan payment via transfer, balance inquiry, mini statement generation, change PIN. Gaffer noted that Scotiabank had recently been recognized as Guyana's Best Digital Bank 2024 by Global Finance and Bank of the Year 2024 by The Banker. The bank is dedicated to continuous improvement and plans to open additional ATM locations throughout 2025. This new ATM follows recent upgrades to other Scotiabank ATMs at Pegasus Corporate Suites, Marriott, Eugene Correa, Ogle, Airport, and Courtyard Mall. Clients will receive real-time notifications for all ATM transactions through Scotiabank Alerts, a free service designed to help them manage their finances securely. Fisherman on $40,000 bail for assaulting mother. A 24-year-old fisherman, Ravindra Lal, from Grassfield Lusignan, East Coast Demerara, was granted bail of $40,000 on Tuesday at the Vigilance Magistrates Court, where he faced multiple charges. Lal is charged with unlawful assault, throwing missiles, and using threatening and abusive language against his mother, Savitira Vizikar, also known as Nadiria. These incidents reportedly occurred at their residence on January 4, 2025. He also faces charges for assaulting and causing bodily harm to Vizikar on January 23, 2025, and unlawfully wounding Marvin Harry on January 18, 2025. During his court appearance before Senior Magistrate Sunil Scarce, Lal pleaded not guilty to all charges related to his mother, but he pleaded guilty with an explanation for the charge concerning Harry. He explained that his actions were not intended to injure Harry, who he claimed had stolen bicycles belonging to him and his brother. Lal stated that during a confrontation, he inadvertently hurt Harry with a knife. Magistrate Scarce accepted Lal's explanation and altered his plea to not guilty regarding the wounding of Harry. Vizikar expressed her desire to have no further contact with her son and refused to pay his bail, wanting him to be incarcerated. Lal pleaded for forgiveness, stating, "This gon be my last chance," but his mother remained firm in her stance. When asked if he had another place to stay, Lal indicated that his uncle would take him in. He was subsequently granted $20,000 bail for the unlawful wounding of Harry and another $20,000 for the assault on Vizikar. Additionally, he was placed on self-bail for the remaining charges, with the condition that he must stay at least 500 feet away from his mother. Lal is scheduled to return to court for further proceedings on March 17, 2025. Guyana issues 30-day notice to cancel Frontera, CGX Energy's license. Newsroom. The government of Guyana has issued a 30-day notice to cancel the exploration license for the offshore Corentyne block held by a joint venture between CGX Energy and Frontera Energy. This notice comes as the companies aim to finalize well appraisal work and seek partners for the project's development phase. Last year, CGX and Frontera requested an extension of their license to continue their operations, but the government determined there were no grounds to grant this extension. The joint venture has indicated that it is exploring alternatives to resolve the dispute over the rights to retain the block, which could potentially lead to arbitration if an agreement is not reached. In their communication, the companies stated that the government has terminated the license and the associated petroleum agreement, citing no reasonable grounds for extension. However, they have until February 22 to submit arguments that could prompt a reconsideration of the cancellation. If no favorable response is received, the license will officially lapse on March 10. Vice President Barrett Jagdeo previously expressed that the government is not concerned about the possibility of the dispute proceeding to court. The Corentyne block is significant as it represents the last remaining area for Frontera and CGX in Guyana, following the return of two other blocks in recent years. The country's oil industry is predominantly led by ExxonMobil, and the development of the Corentyne block was seen as a strategic move to diversify beyond this major player. Frontera and CGX have indicated they are reviewing all legal options available to assert their rights regarding the cancellation notice and will respond accordingly to the government. Mocha Arcadia squatters to pay $2 million in costs following court ruling. A recent court ruling has determined that remaining squatters on the Mocha Arcadia/Caneview lands must pay $2 million in costs to the Attorney General, the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHPA, and the Guyana Sugar Corporation, GuySuCo. The ruling, delivered by Chief Justice Roxanne George, affirms the government's legal ownership of the lands and its authority to remove squatters. According to Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandlal SC, this decision serves as a crucial reminder that squatters have no legal rights to the land they occupy. The squatters had been previously notified to vacate the area, with notices dating back to 2008, and again in 2021, when it was announced the land would be used for a 4-lane highway. Many residents accepted compensation offers and relocated, while others remained. The Attorney General emphasized that the squatters failed to establish any legal interest in the land, as they had previously sought to regularize their status with the government, which invalidated their claim to prescriptive rights. Nandlal also criticized the opposition for allegedly exploiting the squatters for political gain, stating that they misrepresented the situation and failed to provide promised legal assistance. He pointed out that despite the involvement of several opposition lawyers, none appeared in court to represent the squatters. The ruling underscores the legal rights of property owners and serves as a warning to potential squatters about the consequences of occupying state lands without permission. Over 100 ATMs to be rolled out countrywide. Guyana Times, B Payments, B, is set to launch over 100 new automated teller machines, ATMs, across Guyana, providing convenient cash access for cardholders of Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. The initiative aims to enhance financial inclusion, particularly in underserved areas. Key details. Locations. The ATMs will be installed in high-traffic areas such as supermarkets, malls, gas stations, hospitals, and police stations. Cash replenishment. B will manage cash replenishment for the ATMs, which will accept cards from international networks including Amex, Visa, MasterCard, PIX, and UPI. Affordable fees. Transaction fees will remain competitive, aligned with current market rates. Mobile ATM services. B plans to introduce mobile ATM services via specialized trucks to reach communities with limited access to traditional banking. This initiative will target areas like Black Bush Polder and Yakasari, ensuring that all residents have access to financial services. Innovative features. AI automation. B has developed an AI system that allows users to onboard via WhatsApp, streamlining the process and reducing the need for physical visits to bank offices. Spending tracking. The forthcoming mobile app will help users track their spending and income automatically, enhancing personal budgeting without manual entry. Upcoming AI Expo. B AIFA Labs will host an AI Expo from February 25th to 28th, aimed at educating the public on AI-driven solutions and their applications in finance and other sectors. This rollout of ATMs and innovative services marks a significant step towards improving financial accessibility and inclusivity in Guyana. Security guard admits to narcotic possession, remanded to prison. A security guard from Lang Avenue, Georgetown, Tishon Mackenzie, was remanded to prison after pleading guilty to possession of 75 grams of cannabis. The guilty plea was made before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. During the hearing, Mackenzie expressed shock at the potential for a lengthy prison sentence. He admitted to the charge, claiming he was taking the blame to protect his wife, who he said bought the cannabis for a birthday celebration that ultimately did not occur. The prosecution noted that Mackenzie's home was searched following information linking him to a break-in at a nearby Chinese supermarket. Cannabis was discovered in a blue haversack during this search. When asked why he pleaded guilty, Mackenzie stated, "I can't let my wife suffer, so I gotta take the blame," explaining that they have 8 children between them. The magistrate confirmed that Mackenzie was aware of the illegality of cannabis possession and the potential prison sentence associated with the charge. She ordered a probation report, which will take 2 to 3 weeks to complete, to assess Mackenzie's background and circumstances before sentencing. He is scheduled to return to court on March 5th. This is not Mackenzie's first encounter with the law. He has a history of multiple charges, including escape from lawful custody, attempted murder, and drug trafficking. In 2021, he was sentenced to 18 months after escaping police custody. He has also faced serious charges, including attempted murder in 2022 and possession of cannabis for trafficking in 2023, for which he denied the allegations but was granted bail. Until the probation report is available, Mackenzie remains in custody.